Now you can have your personal speedometer for your RC car, just like on F1 TV. This is how it looks on your FPV headset via your onboard camera, and this is how your recorded video will look. It also comes with other useful telemetries. To create a speedometer display for our RC car, here are the things you need. A flight controller that is commonly used in drones. The flight controller we shall use is the popular F4 flight controller that is embedded with the STM32F4 series microcontroller. It is powered by the Betaflight firmware. We also need the Betaflight configurator, which is an open source software to configure the flight controller. A GPS module to determine our RC vehicle's speed based on its location and time. We shall use the commonly available BN880 unit, an FPV camera. We shall use the Hawkeye Thumb 4K camera, a video transmitter. We will use the EDURF 2-watt long-range transmitter, and a makeshift protection case for the flight controller, which we will DIY ourselves. You also need a pair of FPV goggles, such as the eChine EV800D. This is for us to view the speedometer readings. Firstly, we shall learn how to wire up the flight controller. Here's a wiring diagram of the flight controller. The first thing to do is to wire the power input. Here, we shall take the power cables from the balance leads of a LiPo battery and wire them to the bat pad and ground pad. Here's where we wire the FPV camera. We can tap the 5-volt output from the flight controller and connect it to the camera. The yellow wire represents the video output from the camera. We should wire the video out to the V-in of the flight controller, which is the video input. Then, the video shall output from the flight controller to the video input of the video transmitter. That is how we actually get the flight controller to process our telemetry display and send it to our FPV goggles via the video transmitter. So the flight controller shall take the video feed from the camera and add the speedometer display on the video feed and send the processed video signal to the video transmitter. You could tap the power source from the flight controller's 5-volt output. Some video transmitters include an OSD port, but we shall not cover this in this tutorial. Finally, we need to wire the GPS module. We shall use the 5-volt output from the controller to power the GPS unit. And then, for the TX port, meaning the transmit port, we shall wire it to RX1, not TX1. Remember, this GPS module shall connect to the UART 1 port of the flight controller, represented by the number 1 inch on the pad labels, such as TX1 and RX1. For the TX1 pad, we need to connect it to the RX port on the GPS module. We shall ignore the SDA and SCL ports, which are meant for compass use. It's recommended to have some protection for your flight controller, since RC ground vehicles are prone to crashes and dirt. Here we are using an SD card case and improvising it as our case. Here's how we have wired all the devices together. Here we have the F4 flight controller, the video transmitter, the Hawkeye FPV camera, and also a 2S LiPo battery. What you can see here is the video output in the yellow wire goes all the way to the video input of the flight controller. The other yellow cable is the video output from the controller going all the way to the video input of the video transmitter. And we have these wires here that go to the GPS module that is attached to the body shell. We actually cut a hole in the front of the body shell to attach the GPS unit. It is recommended not to have a cover for the GPS unit to ensure we can easily lock on to any GPS satellites. It usually takes under 1 minute to lock on to sufficient satellites, but this period varies. Next, we shall configure the flight controller. Our flight controller has already been installed with Betaflight firmware, so we just need to configure it. To configure, we need to download the free Betaflight configurator at betaflight.com, which will bring us to github.com. Here is where we shall find the latest downloadable version. Once we have downloaded and installed this software, we shall have something like this. Next, we need to use a USB data cable to connect the flight controller to our PC. Next, open up Betaflight Configurator and ensure that it can detect your flight controller in one of the communication ports. If so, hit Connect. Once connected, you shall see something like this. You can view your firmware version over here. The first thing we need to do here is go to the Ports menu to set up the communication port for the GPS module. Do you remember that we wired our GPS module to TX1 and RX1 means UART1? So go to UART1 and set the sensor input to GPS. Then set the communication speed. You may set to auto or any value that works, but since we are connected to the flight controller at 115200 bits per second, we shall select the same value here. Once done, click on Save and Reboot. Next, go to the Configurations tab and enable GPS and OSD. Remember to save and reboot. Then go to the GPS menu and select the protocol. Usually the protocol is u-blox. Let's enable Auto Config and use Galileo. Then hit the Save and Reboot button. Once your GPS is working, we should be able to see the GPS icon here. If the GPS icon is red, it means the GPS module is working but is not able to lock into any satellites. Ensure your RC car is someplace outdoor or near the window in order to get the satellite signals. You should be able to see which satellite is locked in at this box. Next, go to the OSD menu. OSD stands for On-Screen Display. Here is where we shall configure our speedometer display. We shall use OSD Profile 1 and the default font. First, we should have a display of how many GPS satellites we have locked into. And here's the speed display we've been waiting for. We can also get the G-force reading. To enable these displays, we need to scroll down and check the settings we wish to display. Here's for the GPS satellite display, and here's for the speed. For the G-force, we shall activate the G-force setting. Here's the display for battery voltage and battery usage. To enable these, check the battery usage and voltage settings. We can also activate the warning setting to display warning messages like low battery. To set the speed reading to miles per hour, select the imperial units, and for kilometers per hour, choose metric units. We can adjust the display positions by dragging and dropping. To move a display, click on the display and drag it to a new position. Once done, hit the Save button. So here's the final result: an RC car with an OSD speedometer reading. There are more telemetry displays that we can add, such as roll, pitch, and yaw readings to measure the car's stability. The track's the limit. Have fun!